It's just turned 6.
Yeah. Well, it's 6 o'clock. So welcome everybody to our virtual Havdalah. Beautiful day outside today. I hope that many of you had an opportunity to take some form of a outdoor experience, a little walk, a little breathing in of the fresh air. So spring is in the air, and we'll begin tonight's Havdalah taking notice of spring. We'll start with a spring song from the biblical love poem, Shir HaShirim, the Song of Songs. It's a beautiful poem, something I would encourage you to read because it is particularly meant to be read and studied during the holiday of Pesach. It's a love poem about nature, about people, about relationships. And as we notice nature's awakening, so let us awaken to take notice of and to feel gratitude for all the people with whom we are connected and the world of which we are part. The song with which we will begin is Dodi Li Va'ani Lo. Many of you are familiar with it. It is a song about relationships. It's a song about reciprocity. Dodi Li, I am my beloved's, Va'ani Lo, and my beloved is mine. So Dodi Li is not just about lovers, but also about friends, about neighbors. We welcome Shabbat with the song Lecha Dodi, come my friend, come my beloved. In fact, in modern Hebrew, it is used as a designation for an uncle or an aunt, Doda. That's a relationship where you can be very open and intimate without expecting too much demands, right? So a dod is a friend upon whom you can depend. We all have learned that we depend on one another in known and unknown ways. So let us begin this Havdalah by singing Dodi Li Va'ani Lo. Where are the words for you? On the guitar, the song that the cantor has just sung so beautifully with Mark accompanying her speaks of mor ulevona, of spices and frankincense. So this is particularly appropriate for Havdalah as we want to take in and retain the special fragrance, the special feelings of Shabbat. A story for this Havdalah by Rabbi Sandy.
Well, I chose a story that seems very appropriate for this time of Pesach from the tradition of the rabbis. When the children of Israel marched into Egypt, marched from Egypt into the wilderness, they confronted the Sea of Reeds. And there they were standing before the sea. They looked back, and behind them were the Egyptian chariots. They looked to the left, and they looked to the right, and beside them were the wild beasts of the desert. They looked straight ahead, and of course, in front of them was the raging sea. And of course, the people were afraid. Some said it really would have been better to be a slave in Egypt than to drown in the sea or to be killed by the Egyptians. Some of the people complained, and some of the people wept. And the leaders of the tribes argued, and Moses prayed. Just then, Nachshon ben Aminadab jumped into the water. People gasped. When the water reached his waist, the sea still raged. Nachshon could hear the people on the shore shouting at him to return. Come back, you're going to drown. But Nachshon did not listen. He kept walking deeper and deeper into the sea. And then the water came to his neck. And when the water finally reached his nose, the Sea of Reeds parted. The children of Israel began to walk onto dry land. To their left was a wall of water, to their right was a wall of water, and in front of them was the promise of a land flowing with milk and honey. I think in so many ways we have all the feelings that our ancestors had as they faced the raging sea, as we face the challenge before us. You know, sometimes we are uncertain, receiving conflicting information. Sometimes we weep. Sometimes we complain. And sometimes our leaders are arguing. But all of us are a little bit like Nachshon ben Aminadab. We move forward with hope and with determination toward a promise of a new spring and a new beginning.
With those words of hope, we move into the blessings of Havdalah. The Havdalah this evening will include at the end the counting of the Omer, which is another expression of moving forward as we move from the holiday of Pesach, accompanying our Israelite ancestors through the desert to stand before Sinai and to begin again as a community, hopefully under more open and relational circumstances under Torah. The blessings for Havdalah are now on the screen. Please feel free to join with the cantor from where you are. We light our Havdalah candles.
So now we begin to, we continue our counting of the Omer, and the bracha and the appropriate day are on the screen for you. So you can join with me or join in saying Amen, and then we will count together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher Kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sefirat ha'omer Hayom shlosha yamim la'omer.
Today is the third day of the Omer. Rabbi Jenny, will you send us into the third day of the Omer with a parting thought?
Sure. So I've also been thinking a little bit about spring, and as we're leaving Shabbat, but staying in Passover for much of the rest of the week. A teaching I once learned about spring and relationship, but also about humility came to mind. There was a teaching that chametz, the leavened bread that we don't eat this week, is all puffy and has become arrogant. And for the week of Passover, we get rid of it as a humbling experience. And I know for me, this entire endeavor has truly been a humbling experience. But the matzah is the resilient one. The matzah is the symbol of freedom, even in the unknown, and it is the symbol of reaching out to one another, of us becoming a community and a people that right now we're experiencing community in a different way. And we're reminded of how much, as Rabbi Dennis said earlier, how much we depend on one another and have the opportunity to be dod, to be beloved to one another. And so I hope we all have a week of humility, and in that humility, really recognizing our interconnectedness and our loved ones as spring continues to shine outside. Shavua Tov, and happy continuous Passover.
Shavua Tov.
Shavua Tov, and Enjoy the rest of the Chag, everybody.
Right.
Thank you.
So,
What Tov?
Thank you. Thank you.
Shavua Tov.
Shavua Tov.
Chag Sameach.
was indeed.
Yep.
Somebody wants to leave.
Bye, Papa.
I'm gonna carry the,
See you, Grandpas.
of the
Bye-bye.
companion.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a good rest of your night.
Have a good week.
Have a good week.
Happy birthday, almost, Alan.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, Alan.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, Alan.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, Alan.
Thank you.
Shavua
Thank
Tov.
you. Hi, Steve. Hi, Dan.
Dan, happy birthday to you too soon, right?
Yeah.
So that on yesterday, everybody said when their birthdays in April are. So lots of happy birthdays and Shavua Tov.
Thank you.
Signing off. Beth-El Zedeck. Shavua Tov.
Shavua Tov. And thank you.